Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Browns Creek Block Party Town Hall. I am Shel Frost. I am the programs director for the league. I will be pretending to be Brian Russell this weekend. So I will be your league director for the weekend. Brian Russell will be playing my role tonight, answering questions in the chat. So we'll be going back to Browns Creek Bike Trail in Elizabethtown, a venue that always treats us really well. Lots of space, lots of trail. We've got a really fun Minecraft themed weekend planned that we're excited for you to join us for. Tonight's town hall is all about answering questions, giving you an overview of what you can expect at Browns Creek and what activities and opportunities we'll have on offer there for you. Our goal for tonight is to address questions of student athletes who are participating in the event, parents who are bringing those student athletes to the events, and the coaches who guide those student athletes through our events. Um, we do have a few minor shifts from the norm, so to speak, for Saturday, which we'll go over. So it's really good to see so many of you on here tonight with us right now, so we can make sure that you're informed, and excited and prepared for a really great time. We'll start with an overview of what you can expect when you get to Browns Creek, for your arrival, parking, camping, stuff like that. And then we're going to walk through the Saturday schedule and what you can expect for that day. And last but not least is Sunday race day, and what you can expect for the race. We'll give you an overview of the course, and then I'll close with covering the information you can expect following our weather call tomorrow, and any additional implications we might be seeing for the weekend. I think we've got a pretty good idea of what to expect right now. As most of you are aware, we have that weather call tomorrow late morning, with the venue and trail managers, as well as some key staff and our weather guy. And we'll make an announcement whether we're officially a go or not. Currently, we're seeing some weather coming in on Friday. So we're going to really need folks to pay close attention to that Saturday schedule tonight as we go over, and let us know what questions you have. Um, can somebody give me a thumbs up when I share my screen that you can actually see what I'm showing you? Awesome. That went smoother than I anticipated. Okay. So first up, I'm going to show you how to navigate to some important information. This is our main league webpage. You're going to go to that What's Happening tab at the top, click on that Event Weekends in the drop down. You're going to scroll till you see Level 4 Elizabethtown on Browns Creek Block Party. So you'll click there, and that's where you're going to be able to find all the important information that you need, to see what's happening at Browns Creek. Um, so this page should provide you everything that you're looking for. We'll use this page throughout the meeting tonight, to show you where to find certain information. The event flyer, which is right there. That's going to be a two-page document that gives you the schedule day by day, for the weekend, and lots of links and additional information back on that page. So you're going to be able to find pretty much anything you're looking for right there on that page. When we get to Sunday, I'll pull up the race course link, and we'll show you how and or what that race course looks like. You can click on the race course video to watch that before you get there. Get a good idea of what the course is going to look like and what you can expect. You'll see it through like a GoPro video perspective, and then we'll put out the call for volunteers, with our awesome volunteer coordinator, Jenny Wood. Volunteers are what make all of these weekends happen, and we definitely still need volunteers for this weekend. You can click on that link, as well on this page. And then we'll turn it over in a couple of minutes to Ben Harbor, our operations manager, and Brian Rabelais, our camping coordinator, to talk about those topics as well. Um, we should have the link for live results on here, as well by this weekend. When we get to Sunday and talk about that schedule, we'll talk about call-ups, the staging area, the venue map, things like that. So you'll know where things are when you get to the venue. And then you'll have that to reference should you have any questions throughout the weekend. So, um, so let's check out the event flyer right here. and give everyone just a quick overview of the weekend, kind of day by day. And it's going to be a little different this weekend due to those weather implications I was talking about. We do have some weather that's coming in on Friday. So we're going to get a late start as a staff. If you can pay real close attention to the times that are listed for Saturday, they are going to be pushed back about an hour and 45 minutes. So if you're available Saturday morning in particular, because we're getting a late start, if you're available and willing to help us fill those volunteer slots for course setup and infield setup, that will be an immense help to get us off to a smooth start since we'll be having a late start due to the expected storms and rain on Friday. So if you would consider helping us fill those volunteer slots, if you're there and able to, we'd be very grateful for that help. We'll walk through Saturday's schedule, like I mentioned. We'll then walk through Sunday's schedule. At the top of the flyer, there are two links that you can find here. The first one that will take you back to the venue map. And then when you click on the town, that will take you to the Google Map chip where you can navigate to enter the venue. And that's where you want to navigate when you come into Browns Creek, when you arrive at the venue. And that's right there again on the website. Whoops. Those two spots right there is where you click to find those. Hopefully most of your questions will be answered throughout this call with the information that we're going to provide you. We've got some key staff members that'll share about different areas and activities that are happening. But if you've got questions, we'd love to see you to put those in the chat. And then right now, because we're all here to support our student athletes, and we want to hear what questions those student athletes have, we do have 3 prizes for our student athletes who ask the first, second, and third questions tonight as soon as I say the code word. So I'll mention that code word in just a minute. I've got a $50 gift card from league sponsor Fidlock, who sponsors our adventure program. And we will have some adventure activities this weekend, as well as an adventure course on both Saturday and Sunday. For second place, I've got a Cognitive MTB gift card for a free jersey. Cognitive MTB is a sponsor of our Teen Trail Corps program. And we will have some Teen Trail Corps activities at the Teen Trail Corps tent, including Tool Hour. You can learn to sharpen some tools, get to know the Teen Trail Corps committee and ambassadors this weekend. And then the third question asked tonight wins a Cognitive MTB gift card for a pair of gloves. And thanks so much to those sponsors for supporting the league. In just a second, you can put your questions in the chat. Say, hey, I'm a student athlete. Here's my question. So now with the code word level up, put those questions in the chat. And thank you to Brian Russell for filling my role moderating our chat. And good luck to you answering all of the questions. So he'll do the best job that he can of getting to all of the questions in that chat as we go through the town hall. And again, whether you're a parent, a coach, a student athlete, throw those questions in the chat. We'll go through arrival. We'll pause and
wait, you got second. I got first. Oh, Vivian, you're unmuted.
So yeah, we'll pause, ask some questions. We'll go through that Saturday schedule, pause, ask some more questions. And we'll go through Sunday, pause, ask some more questions. So we'll get to all those questions to the best of our ability. Let us know what questions you have. With that, I'd like to pass things over to our operations manager, Ben Harbor, and then we'll go to Brian Rabelais, our camping coordinator, to cover all the camping information. Ben, do you want to share your screen and pull up that map?
Yes, ma'am. I do believe I stole the sharing from you, so if someone could throw a thumbs up, I'd appreciate. Or a yeah, it's displaying properly.
Yeah, you're good, Ben.
Thank you, Brian. So I'll start and then I'll be the Vanna White if you can take Vanna's deep baritone voice tonight. When we come in into the venue off of Highway 8070, the bypass or the business loop, you're going to turn into the venue where we've got the beautiful North Carolina logo, and there'll be a welcome flags there. Drive up into typical Browns Creek, Your parking attendant volunteers will greet you with a smile and some flyers to hopefully get you to volunteer to help fill up some of our spaces and help out on our crazy Saturday morning ventures. You'll park your cars here in this violet pink color to your left as you drive in. Site 1 camping will be over here on your right that Mr. Rabelais will discuss here in a minute. Pit zone is going to be this fuchsia colored with the house as we had it laid out last year. So this year we're going to drive past. There'll be a dumpster sitting here, somewhere hopefully marked where I've got it on the map. You'll turn around that dumpster, go to the back side of pit zone to unload your stuff, and go back out to parking. So please be aware of traffic. We do have 5-mile-an-hour signs is the max speed. We have hidden radar detectors that will freeze and lock up your cars and take all bicycles for wholesale pricing for staff e-bikes. So please be careful and mindful of those speed limits as you go in and out of pit zone and then go back to park your vehicle. All of our typical front of house registration volunteer merch will be down there close to the start course. There'll be adventure area down below pit zone. So be careful as you're driving through the areas, as you be respectful of students and parents unloading equipment and then getting back to your parking. That covers the infield aspects of it. Again, I ask you to be safe. Once you've unloaded your equipment into your pit zone, designate a crew to set up your pit, and then designate another crew to come help us volunteer to set up the students' race course for the weekend. So I will now be the Vanna White as we let Mr. Brian Rabelais, our camp coordinator for the season, to describe some of the camping and the time frames for those camp locations. Go ahead, Brian.
Thanks, Ben. I appreciate that. So you've already shown them site number 1 right there. As you drive in, you're on the right-hand side. Camping will open on Friday at 5:30 and close at 10. Please do not come in after 10 and start setting up. It's disruptive to everybody. Quiet time is from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. the next morning. I suspect Saturday is probably going to be the day that we're going to see a lot of activity here. Also in Site 1, please be respectful of the houses, the private residences behind us. Know that swimming pool is not a public swimming pool. So please hold the noise down after 10 o'clock as we try to be respectful for our neighbors. So that is Site 1. Site 1's pretty full also. It's got 105 campers down there, tent campers, RVs, etc. So it's going to be a full area. So expect to be a little bit tight through there. Site 2 is on down East Broad Street there on the left-hand side at the pump track. That site is full also. We have 16 campers in there. Those are RVs and towables, etc. No tent camping in that one, but that is a full area. Nothing else available. If you go down just a little bit further, turn right down Locks Road. This is personally my favorite, the Lock and Dam area. There's an RV camping area on the right. That area is full as well. There's 12 campers that will be parked in there on a slant. And then there's tent camping. This is in that grassy area, and there is a bathroom, etc. down there. You're about 1.1 miles from the venue at this point. So if you're trying to get back to the venue from here, some folks do ride their bikes. I suggest going down Locks Road, cutting through Site 2, hitting the trails, and going up to the venue. That's the safest way. That East Broad Street there, or East Broad Street. Folks can get a little bit quick down through that road there because that's going down a hill. So they do pick up some speed. So just if you've got student athletes or parents or whatever out there, just please be careful. And if there's any questions, don't hesitate to either put it in the chat or feel free to email camping. Oh, by the way, and everybody should have received emails today. All the campers in each one of the sites got emails with their I guess kind of an overview map as well as any additional information that I've come across. That's it, Ben. Back to you.
Thank you, sir. We certainly appreciate it.
We have a question in the chat for Brian Rabelais. What are you supposed to do if you run into traffic on the long drive out to a venue and arrive after 10 p.m.?
Just ask that, matter of fact, just stay on the road. Hopefully it won't pack up or back up there or find me out there. And maybe we can put you in an uninhabited area for the night. I get that, that could happen, but just don't go right in the middle of the other campers and start unpacking, etc. So just like on site one, we'll fill in from the front back. So just stay in the back until first thing in the morning, then we'll move you up or put you wherever we can put you that morning.
Thanks, Ben and Brian. So I'll just mention to everybody that we have about 450 student athletes currently registered for the weekend. And we do have about 3.5 hours left of late registration period to attend Browns Creek. So please make sure you're abiding by that guidance that Ben and Brian are giving. Like Brian mentioned, there's some houses very close by. Elizabethtown treats us really well. So we want to really respect that venue and their neighbors so that they welcome us back in the future. And then speaking of registration, Diane LeBlanc, our registration manager, is here. And Diane, is there anything that you wanted to share with the group about registration for this weekend?
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for being on the call with us this evening. Just a reminder, make sure that you have your race plates with you when you leave your home and you come for the weekend. If you forget your race plate or if you have lost your race plate, please come and see me at the registration tent on Saturday. I encourage you not to wait until Sunday because Sunday is crazy busy because we're doing our race. The other thing too is if you are a student athlete who has gotten a plate because you lost yours and you didn't race at Mayo Dan and you're planning on using your original race plate, again, make sure that you come and see me and let me know that you're using your original race plate and not the one that I gave you to use when you lost yours. I know that's a lot of information. If you have any questions, come and see me. I always have extra twist ties as well. Thanks, Shell. Back to you.
Thanks, Diane. And for the final part of arrival, we're going to go to Jenny Wood, our volunteer coordinator, so we can talk about those needs for the weekend. Jenny, do you want to share with everyone what our volunteer needs look like for the weekend?
Sure. Right now we're sitting just a little over 50%. We're around 52%. We have lots of spaces available for coaches, non-coaches, parents. Lots of great places to sign up to volunteer that you can still see your student athletes on the course. We have great prizes that we give away. We have cognitive gift cards, TC screen printing gift cards, Blackhawks t-shirt, water bottle combos. We have snacks, waters, Gatorades. We just ask you just to help us out, give us a couple hours of your time. And we have a lot of critical and non-critical needs. So check out the sign up. If you're just not sure, come find me Saturday morning and I'll do my best to work with your schedule and your student athlete schedule and get you signed up for a spot.
Thanks, Jenny. Yeah, volunteering is definitely a really great place to be on the weekend. You can see a lot of the action that's going on, watch your student athlete race from a lot of those positions. And definitely want to thank everybody that helped ensure that all of those volunteer slots for Sunday of our last weekend were filled before start time. That's really greatly appreciated. The less time that we spend trying to track down volunteers, the more time we as a staff have to make sure that we're pulling off a really great event for all of you. So if you're on the call tonight and you haven't signed up for a volunteer slot and you'd be willing to consider signing up for one, I really encourage you to do that and share it with your teams to make sure that we're covered and we can pull off a really fun weekend for the kids. With that, let's pause for just a second. And Brian Russell, how are you doing on questions?
I think we're doing pretty good on questions. Vivian is the second student athlete to ask a question. And Vivian, you asked how close the group camping areas were to pit zone. I think Brian Rabelais answered that question, but if not, let us know. And Vivian, please put your last name or team in the chat so we can get you your second place prize. And then Shell, the first and third student athletes, their questions will be answered on Saturday or Sunday overview, and I'll catch them when we get to those days. So Vivian, did we answer your question? And please let us know who you are, what team you're with, so we'll get you your prize.
Thanks. So with that, let's dive into Saturday. I'm going to navigate to the event flyer that you can find right here. And I'm going to show everyone what that Saturday looks like on the event flyer. Just a reminder that our Saturday schedule is a little bit different to accommodate some of the weather implications on Friday. Like Ben mentioned, pit zone, that area opens at 9:30 as usual. Please read that venue guidance document for the pit zone unloading procedures for Browns Creek. Head coaches meeting is going to be at 1 o'clock, a little bit later than usual to accommodate that late start and the setup of our race and adventure courses, as well as our infield due to the weather. Sean Moore, our director of coach and team development, will go over the course inspection guidance for the day in just a few minutes at 1:30. 1:15, sorry. Our adventure, grit, and teen trail core areas will open, as well as that adventure course. And then 2:15 p.m. we'll have course inspection. The times for red flag, yellow flag, and green flag can be found here. All of those have been adjusted. And I missed grit pre-ride check-in is going to be at 12:30 as well, so that's different. And then at 5 p.m. we've got our Trek fundraiser. It's going to be the activities as track stand and foot down competition in the adventure area. I'll be contacting those teams tonight. So the head coaches from those teams will get an email from me. And then next up, we're going to go to the programs leads to give everyone a description of what's going to be going on in those respective areas. So let's start with grit. Since the girls are first with that grit pre-ride. Sharon Prohaska, our grit committee member, is going to give everyone an overview of what they can expect for grit at Browns Creek.
Hey, that's fun. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. All right, this is Angie Tabor. I'm one of our grit committee members. I'm going to quickly go over what's happening at the grit tent on Saturday at Browns Creek. Shell kicked us off and mentioned the pre-ride check-in. So if you do click that link in the grit in the event flyer that'll get you to grit, just realize that we've bumped our times a little bit. So that check-in is going to be at 12:30, and that's where we're getting everybody checked in to get started, and we're getting everybody sorted into their ride groups so that we've got a good distribution of leaders and sweeps, and the ambassadors will be out there with the new riders to help coach them along on the trail. Excuse me. We will have Leidy Rogers, one of our senior ambassadors, and her word art creation project going on, and that's just kind of happening throughout the day at the grit tent. So come on down, get a marker, put some things together. We made a really cool flag out of word art in prior years, and so that's usually up at the grit tent and you can see it too, but we'll do something creative. Leidy will take that and make something out of it. So come make your contribution at the grit tent. We'd love to have you. We also have just games and community building throughout the day. So come get a snack, hang out with other girls, find a girl from a team that you've never met and connect with her. And then we have our mentor program. And I think we're keeping the time the same for the mentor program activity because it's kind of in the middle, and it's from 3 to 4. And at that activity this weekend, we will be talking about just fueling your adventures, just those tips and tricks, questions that new cyclists may have about, man, what do I eat if I'm going to go ride my bike? Or what do I when do I need to have a snack? Or, how much water do I need to drink? Or electrolytes? Whatever your question is, bring it up with the girls. We have plenty of experienced riders to just kind of help coach you through and figure out what works for you. So we're excited to see you at the block party. We'll be having a block party of our own at the Grit Tent, so come join us. Thanks, Shel.
Thanks so much, Angie. So now we're gonna switch over to Teen Trail Corps. We try to have a little bit of everything at all of our events, and Teen Trail Corps committee member Dave Droke is gonna let us know what we have going on for Teen Trail Corps Browns Creek.
Hey, everybody, student athletes, coaches, and parents. Quick overview. Since there is an adventure course at this particular venue, we're not going to be doing trail work, but there's plenty of other activities that we have at the Teen Trail Corps tent. The Teen Trail Corps tent is the place where you pick up your awards for the trail work hours that you've earned. We have games. We have the Chocolate Rocks again. We'll have one of those at each of the events this year. Tool time, and Shell's got that up right now from 1 to 2 at the tent. You can learn about the tools, how to sharpen them, and how to care for them. We've had some good engagement with that so far this year, and so far we've made some pretty sharp tools. And remember, a sharp tool is a safe tool. It's also the place where you come to decorate the Stoke sticks that are given out at the awards podium on Sunday evening. So we'll have the Stoke sticks and markers there. So bring your artistic abilities and draw something really great on the Stoke sticks. It's like always, we'll have the volleyball net, kinetic sand, the rock crawlers, and some other games, and a great place to come engage with our student athletes who are ambassadors, and those of us committee members that will be there as well.
Thanks, Dave. And as we're going through these things, there's a couple times like Tool Hour that I have failed to update yet as we've been making changes today. So just check back. I'll get those all updated tonight to make sure that they're accurate and on par with all the changes we made to the Saturday schedule. And then last but not least, for the programs activities on Saturday, we'll have Bill Berry from our adventure committee talk about what we've got coming up for adventure at Browns Creek.
So I'm going to interject for a second. One thing I meant to ask you to do, Shell, is at least show the map and where the programs, TTC, and adventure is going to be. Great segue.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dave. I'll go ahead and dive into it because, as you pointed out, Grit, TTC, and adventure programs will be adjacent to each other on Saturday, where the cursor is showing there on the south side of Pit Zone. So definitely invite you guys also to come check out the adventure area, and our blue canopy will show us there adjacent to our program's neighbors. Invite all of our SAs to come out and bring your friends. You can come out on your own. You can bring friends from your team. You can bring friends from other teams and come and have fun. We'll have our usual bike obstacles and challenges set up for you, so you can do work on the bike skills with your friends there. And then we'll also have our collection of off the bike games available for you. And I do just want to give a special shout out to all of our adventure coach volunteers who signed up at the programs area to really set it up and create it as a fun space for all of our student athletes to enjoy. Second reminder, you can also pick up your adventure passports there. And the program's adventure area is a great way to work on your or to accomplish one of the items in the adventure passport. In fact, one of the adventure passport items is to bring 2 friends and come have fun at the adventure program. So it's something that anyone who's going to be at Browns Creek could do. Another example where our adventure coach volunteers could help out is one of the passport items is to think of and develop an icebreaker that you could come back to your team and perhaps start off a practice with. So again, a shout out to our adventure coach volunteers who could work with any of our student athletes on those kinds of adventure activities. The other key element, the right side of the flyer here highlights, as Dave alluded to, we will have an adventure course as a separate trail set that everyone will have access to on Saturday and Sunday. If Shell or whoever's driving, if you don't mind going back to the map for me, I will just, perfect. That's great to show. Because the one thing I did want to highlight, it's a separate trail set. It's in the light blue, so it kind of covers the northern side of the Browns Creek trail sets. And the dark blue check mark is an important landmark because that's kind of on the other side of the start chute of the race. And that's going to be where you can check in and check out for the adventure course. So one fun theme that we're going to do on Saturday is in the block party Minecraft theme. I hear there's going to be some Minecraft related objects that are going to be out hidden on the trails. And so anyone who is out, so for folks going out in groups on the adventure trails, if you take a picture and then bring it back to the adventure coach volunteers there at the start and show them, you'll be entered into a raffle to win some great prizes. So just an added feature to make the trail set fun. And this is for those who rode last year. I think this is a very similar course to last year. I got on it for the first time last year. And I think it's really neat. And to show I'm a Minecraft nerd, it's really neat in ways because it kind of sends you through some different biomes. Some sandy areas and along some creeks and stuff. So it really kind of shows the diversity of what the trails out at Browns Creek are. And so I think it really highlights why it's such a special region. So just to reiterate though, it is important for all of our student athletes and coaches who go out there. It's important that we have groups check in and check out. That's the way that we can know that folks are out there. From a safety perspective, and also similar to as it was in Danville, an important point that it's going to be coach-led, that all groups on the course should be coach-led and coach-led under our NICA ratios. So please make sure as you're coordinating with your team and with your student athletes that you make sure that you're able to adhere to that. I'll just quickly throw out there, I know we're focusing on Saturday now, but just to highlight, as it was mentioned again, the adventure course will be open on Sunday. The same principles of checking in and checking out will also apply to Sunday. And there will be, the full course is, I believe, over 4 or 5 miles in length, but there is a shorter version that will be set up as a warm-up option. But the same for the warm-up option, we still also want to stress it's going to be important to be coach-led so that we can make sure that we're adhering to safety while we're out there. So I'm stoked. Hope to see many of you out there and come have fun in the programs area and out on the adventure course. With that, I'll kick it back to you, Shel.
Thanks so much, Bill. So yeah, lots going on with adventure, as well as Teen Trail Core and Grit. So definitely check them out. That area right there highlighted in the blue on the map, is where the programs area will be. And then again, like Bill mentioned, check in and check out for adventure courses where that blue check mark is. So with that, I'm gonna pass us over to Sean Moore, Director of Coach and Team Development, to go over course inspection.
All right, so we'll start Saturday with our coaches meeting at 1 p.m. That's a pushed back time. So normally we meet at 11. So coaches make note of that change to 1 p.m. And then our course inspection time will also shift. So we will start that at 2:15 with our red flag conditions. And red flag is when single lap racers go out with their teams and coach led groups for the period from 2:15 to 3:45. This really should be looked at as going out for a slow lap to look at the course. And then at 3:45, we shift over to our yellow flag, which is when all multi-lap racers go out with coach-led groups to go out and take a slow lap and look at the course. That will end at 5:15, and then from 5:15 to 6:15, we will have the green flag period, which is when student athletes can go out in groups with other student athletes. They must be with at least one other student athlete, and they can go ride the course on their own, making sure that they stay together. So if someone falls behind, you need to stop and wait. And then they should not begin their last lap after 6:15. They should be out on their last lap before 6:15. And then at 6:15, coaches, we will meet at the start line, and at 6:25, we will go out for our sweep lap to sweep the course and make sure that there's no one out there on that. And then when we come back, all the courses will be closed and we will be done with riding bikes for the day. The one thing I do want to mention that's been kind of becoming a little bit of an issue is student athletes and coaches. You must have your number plate on your bike at all times throughout the weekend. So if we see you on your bike, you should have your number plate on there. This helps us to make sure that we don't have just people from outside of our league out on course. We don't have parents that are out on course. Our insurance does not cover that. So make sure that you have your number plate. And if you do not, anticipate that you will be stopped by a league member and asked to go get your number plate on there. If you have lost your plate, make sure that you go to registration and get your plate as soon as possible. And back to you, Shel.
Thanks, Sean. And then again at 5 o'clock, we'll have the Trek fundraiser, track stand, and foot down competition. We'll have some Minecraft themed obstacles to make that fun and difficult at the same time. And I will email the head coaches of the qualifying teams for that this evening. And then 5:45 p.m., our programs areas will close down. 6:15 p.m., all courses will close. So with that, that wraps up our Saturday schedule. Brian, do you want to cover any lingering questions we might have?
I think we are all caught up on questions, but I will mention that Simon McLaurin, Northway Trailhawks, was the first student athlete to ask a question tonight, and he asked what the adventure activity was and how long was the course. I think Bill Berry answered that during his overview. So Simon, if you can confirm that for us. Thanks for asking the question. We just want to make sure we've got your question answered tonight, and I think we did. So just throw that in the chat or let us know if we need more amplification on the adventure activities for this weekend.
Thanks, Brian. So with that, we will talk about Sunday race day. So going back to the second page of our event flyer, you can find our race schedule. So all of the waves are listed here with their times. And then there is no change to our Sunday schedule. We don't anticipate that currently being affected by the weather in any way. So this is our current race schedule for Sunday. We'll run through the waves. We've got JV3 boys, the middle school boys as usual. Wave 2, JV2 boys, 2 fields. Wave 3, varsity girls, JV1, MSA, JV2, and JV3 girls. And then wave 4 finishing out the day with varsity boys, JV1 boys, and MSA boys. So with that, now that we've covered arrival, Saturday schedule and changes, and our Sunday schedule, what other questions do folks have that we might be able to help answer this evening?
I'll jump in here, Shel, to say Andrew Pitts from McDougall Middle was our third student athlete to ask a question, and he asked if the course was going to be the same as last year. And we had a lot of those questions in the chat window. And Sean replied with a link to the race course preview video, and it is the same as last year. I will put a caveat on that. We always, take a look at it, might make some changes when we're out there Friday, Saturday. There's a little bit of new trail in the infield, which will be new this year, but it is generally the same as last year. So Andrew, thank you for asking the question. Just let us know if that answered the question sufficiently.
Thanks, Brian. So if anyone else has any questions, you can drop them in the chat or just unmute yourself and ask. And we'll see if we can answer anything else you might got. Okay. So I'll just end with a reminder that we have our weather call tomorrow, late morning with that trail manager, venue manager, some key staff. When that is done, we will send out a notification via TeamSnap email to let you know if there are any additional changes. We're not currently anticipating that, but we'll take a look at it and let you know if we do need to shift anything additionally. But other than that, thanks so much for joining us. And we really look forward to seeing everybody for the Browns Creek Block Party this weekend.